The following is a presentation of the Missouri Sports Network.
Hello again, everyone, and welcome to the Missouri Sports Network, MissouriSportsNetwork.com, where everyone has a home field advantage. And as always, presented by Lyon and Labor's Local 663, who remind us, hey, let's drive safely in those work zones. Those folks want to go home to their families as well. Well, Dateline, October 23rd, and that means it's a Wednesday. And for the last 27 weeks, it's Where Are They Now Wednesdays. This is episode 28 here on the Where Are They Now Wednesdays with Playing on Sports. Kent Mueller here on the Missouri Sports Network. Hey, and again, we remind you, this is the original Where Are They Now Wednesday. Don't be fooled by the Johnny-come-latelys or some other imposter. Playing on Sports and Missouri Sports Network are your sources for what Missouri high school talent does when not only they're in high school, but when they get to the national stage of the NCAA. No one has more information for you than we do. We really appreciate your attention and loyalty to the program. And hey, do us a favor. Go to our Facebook page at Missouri Sports Network and give us a like. Just hit the button, and then you'll be made aware of anything that we do that's going live. Hey, go to YouTube and subscribe. Hey, we appreciate you. We wouldn't be doing this if it was not for you. And hey, drop us a note, send us a message, and let us know what maybe you want to hear, or maybe who you want to hear from. Missouri Sports Network at gmail.com. And you can get the newsletter from Kent at playingonsports at gmail.com, and it's free. So, hey, are you ready? We're ready because we've done the homework for you. So, with that, I turn it over to Playing on Sports, Kent Mueller.
Well, thank you, Guy. And last week, we looked at football, and there was a lot to see. We reviewed the FBS, FCS, and Divisions 2 and 3. We looked at those who run the ball, along with those passing and receiving, and we looked at the kicking game, both field goal kickers and punters. Who are they, where are they, and what they're doing now? As always, a lot of great performances by Missouri athletes. This week, we are reviewing field hockey and also noting superlative performances in Division I women's soccer. We're combining all three divisions for field hockey, largely due to the relative small numbers from Missouri who play the sport in college. Fewer than 40 high schools offer field hockey in Missouri, but that number is growing, especially in Kansas City. Notre Dame de Sion added the sport in recent years, and St. Teresa's Academy entered the fray this year with over 50 girls out for their first team. Some schools have played the sport for many decades, reaching much further back than Title IX. It is one of the oldest high school sports in Missouri, especially for girls' competition. Field hockey is one of the few high school sports to have been interrupted by 2 pandemics. Yes, 2. Sadly, the COVID pandemic affected all high school sports in 2020. But I've also seen references to how the Spanish flu pandemic of 1918 resulted in the cancellation of field hockey games between high schools in Kansas City. All of that is a good reason to delve deep into field hockey right after these messages from our sponsors.
I'll have the avocado toast minus the avocado.
So, toast.
Yeah. Everything is so expensive these days.
Hey, Chevy gets it. That's why they're keeping prices down to earth, like on the most affordable EV in America. A super strong and capable Chevy truck. And a high-tech Chevy SUV. Why is Chevy making affordable vehicles connected by OnStar? It's so together we can do more.
We believe banking should make your life greater. It starts with affordable options to meet today's needs and tomorrow's dreams. From smart account options that fit your style to flexible loans for what comes next. It means convenient ways to access and manage your money whenever you need it and wherever you're headed. Most of all, it takes great support. Someone you can count on for trusted guidance and to be there for you every step of the way. Great options, great convenience, great support for life. Great Southern Bank, understanding what really matters.
What rhymes with great?
Participate.
Where does greatness start?
Here, in the classroom.
On the stage.
In the pool.
On the field.
Where will your greatness take you?
To better grades.
To more friends.
Yeah! Be great.
Participate!
Hey, welcome back to the Missouri Sports Network, MissouriSportsNetwork.com, where everyone has a home field advantage here for episode 28 of Where Are They Now Wednesdays. And we're talking field hockey, and we'll kick it back to Playing on Sports, Mr. Kent Mueller.
Thank you, Guy. And it's time for us to dig deep into field hockey. There are 58 Missouri athletes competing in NCAA field hockey. 28 of those women compete in Division I, while 9 compete in Division II, and 21 compete in Division III. As you will see, they may be few in number, but they compete at some of the best collegiate teams in the country, taking the back seat to no one. These compete at 38 colleges and universities spread out from Stanford to North Carolina. And we will discuss the Stanford-North Carolina connection in a few moments. Those 58 athletes come from 21 high schools. Which high schools currently have the most in the NCAA? John Burroughs has an incredible 9 playing into college. They're followed closely by MICDS with 8, and Cor Jesu Academy, Villa Deschênes, and St. Joseph's Academy each have 5 playing in the NCAA. Let's look at who they are and what they are doing where. I noted that they are playing on some of the best teams in the country. That was not hyperbole. Local athletes populate these rosters. In Division I, this week's National Field Hockey Coaches Association national poll has North Carolina at number 2, which is where you will find Grace Pottebaum. She is a sophomore from John Burroughs. Virginia is number 4 with Taryn Tuchekuk as a senior from Villa Deschênes. Number 11, Harvard has Kate Oliver, junior out of MICDS, and Faith Schmidt, a senior out of Cor Jesu Academy. And number 12 is Syracuse, where you will find Olivia Bell, who is a senior from Narix Hall. And number 16, Iowa, has Tess Reed, who is a sophomore from Visitation Academy. In Division III, Middlebury is number 1. And I'm a little bit surprised they're number 1 this week. I was prepared to drop them or report that they were dropped by the coaches poll. Middlebury uncharacteristically lost for the second time in the last 4 years this last week. But the program has such a reputation that the coaches kept them number 1, which is just fine because with the NCAA playoff system, we have that big tournament at the end of the year. We'll find out who's number 1. But on that Middlebury College team is Ellie Hughes, who is a senior out of Pembroke Hill. Number 15 is MIT. And that's where you'll find Anna Duncan. She is a senior out of John Burroughs. And we have so many playing on top 25 teams. It's not because there's a whole bunch on a local team that happens to be very good. Amherst College is in the Northeast. They're number 17 in Division III, and they have 5 on their roster from Missouri. Katie Grady, who is a freshman out of John Burroughs. Katie Kantrovitz, a sophomore out of John Burroughs, and out of Lafayette High is a senior, Elena Malik. Also on that team is Ellie MacArthur, a senior out of Cor Jesu Academy, and Kate Smith, a senior out of John Burroughs. That means that over 20% of the Missourians who play on into NCAA field hockey do so on a top 25 school. Now let's get to specifics. Who has scored the most goals? That would be Kate Oliver out of MICDS. She's a junior forward playing Division I field hockey at Harvard in the Ivy League. Kate has the second most goals scored for the Harvard Crimson. She also has 2 assists, and her goals are timely. 4 of her goals were the game winners. That not only leads Harvard, but the entire Ivy League. Jenna Bernstein is also out of MICDS. She's a senior midfielder at Division III Washington Lee, which is in the Old Dominion Athletic Conference. Jenna is 3rd on her team in both goals scored and assists made. The Generals co-captain scored the game-winning goal this year against Catholic University. There's Ellie Lockhead. She is out of MICDS. She's a freshman forward at Division III DePauw University, which is in the North Coast Athletic Conference. Ellie is just a freshman, but she is third in goals scored for her 9-6 Tigers. Ellie is the younger sister of Anna Lockhead, also out of MICDS, who is a junior forward at Division I Colgate, which is in the Patriot League, where she leads her team in goals scored and is shooting 100% with shots on goal. And then let's add Brecken Calcare out of MICDS. She's a junior forward at Division I, the University of New Hampshire, which is in the America East Conference. To those with 3 or more goals this year, we have the top 3 goal scorers and 2 of the 5 tied for 4th, who all graduated from MICDS. That is amazing how their grads dominate the goals scored leaderboard. The others with 3 goals this year are Tia Sansoni out of Whitfield. She is a junior forward playing Division II field hockey at Maryville University. And Taryn Tachakak out of Villa de Chêne. She is a senior striker at Division I Virginia in the Atlantic Coast Conference. And Delaney Winkleman out of St. Joseph's Academy. She's a junior forward playing Division II field hockey at Maryville University. Tia Sansoni, who I just mentioned, is shooting on goal at a .731 clip and has a game-winning goal. Guy, let's take a moment to discuss our Missouri Career 1000 list. I want everyone to know that we will soon be posting the very beginnings of 2 lists, one for boys and one for girls. On those lists will be any Missouri high school basketball player who has scored 1,000 points in their high school career. We don't know how many there will be, and the list will get longer every year. Guy, over the years, you have interviewed many Missouri athletes who have scored 1,000 career points. Who are some of them that you remember?
Well, looking just on the girls' side, you look at the top 2 in Missouri history. Leah Cauble from Oran, she graduated in 2018. Got an opportunity to interview her back while she was still in high school. Hannah Wilkerson of Mueller High School, she graduated in 2010. She's been interviewed not only as a player in high school, but also as a coach when she came back and coached there at Miller. Also from Milan, Missouri, is Katie Pauley, and she just graduated 2 years ago at Milan back in 2022. And you just a list, and you go over and look at maybe the boys' side as well in the record book. And Fred Johnson, who graduated in 1986. Well, this was when I was still in high school. But I've had opportunities to interview him in different circumstances as well. You look at Isaiah Howard from Plattsburgh, and he just graduated a year ago, and he was putting up some massive numbers. Been able to sit down and visit with him as well. Arlo Stump at Golden City actually drove down to Golden City, Missouri, and sat down in their gymnasium and interviewed the coach and the team. Drennan Dinkins from South Iron is on that list, and he's playing here at Southwest Baptist University now, but he's a 2021 graduate of South Iron, part of that back-to-back state championship teams that they had. So I've had opportunities. Luke Northweather was the Gatorade Player of the Year out of Blair Oaks back 3 years ago, 2021. Had an opportunity to get he and Bella Fauntleroy out of Kickapoo, who were the Gatorade Players of the Year that year, and I had both of them on the same show. So it's been the list. I've been fortunate to be able to get to a lot of these folks that, and really since the 3-point line has come in, a lot of these record holders are within the last 20 years.
And we have a ways to go, but we're nearing 1,000 total on these 2 lists. And I'm coming from every corner of the state, and I've gone back to where I have now some out of the 1950s when they didn't score as much back then. And as you just noted, 2 things. One, they didn't have the 3-point shot back then. Number 2, in the 50s, we don't have any interviews of Guy interviewing them. But it's starting in the recent years, there have been a lot, as he noted, and there will be even more. And so all of you coaches and athletic directors out there, Gather up your list for your school and send them in to plainonsports@gmail.com. The list will be available to all on the Missouri Sports Network website. Again, please send your list to plainonsports@gmail.com. We want your students to be properly recognized and immortalized on our permanent list. And there is one Missourian currently in the NCAA who has gone through the field hockey transfer portal. For her first 2 years of collegiate competition, Maeve Fogarty, who is out of Visitation Academy, was at the University of Rochester in the Liberty League. That's a Division III school. While there, Maeve earned almost every possible award and designation. As a freshman, she was a Liberty League Rookie of the Year, and then as a sophomore, she was named the National Field Hockey Coaches Association Region III Player of the Year and a NFHCA Division III First Team All-American. While at Rochester, she also helped her Yellow Jackets to 2 conference titles and was a 2-time NFHCA National Academic Squad honoree. Maeve came out of the portal at Division I University of Maine, the Bears, which is in the America East Conference, where she has appeared in 15 games and has recorded 4 points so far in her junior year. Grace Pottebaum, she's out of John Burroughs. She's a sophomore midfielder at Division I North Carolina in the Atlantic Coast Conference. Grace has started all 12 games for the number 2 Tar Heels, and having played the 5th most minutes, is obviously a mainstay as a sophomore at the highest level. Earlier, I noted a connection between North Carolina and Stanford. That is because of Grace's sister. Esther Pottebaum, also out of John Burroughs, is a sophomore midfielder at Stanford University, which is also in the Atlantic Coast Conference now. Esther has played in all 14 games for the Cardinal. Are the Pottebaums blessed? Yes. But the Pottebaum parents have daughters playing Division I field hockey 2,800 miles apart. At least they play in the same conference, although I don't think that could have been their original plan given the timing of the conference realignments. The Pottebaum dilemma is a bit like that of Chris and Angie Long, the primary owners of the Kansas City Current, the women's professional soccer franchise here in Kansas City. They have 2 daughters who are freshmen in college this year. One is playing soccer for Duke, and the other is playing basketball for Yale. At least their daughters are in the same time zone and are playing in different seasons. I'm sure there's pressure on the Pottebaum and Long family schedules, but we can all agree that those are pretty darn good problems to have. Taryn Tchekik out of Villa de Chêne is a senior striker. I've mentioned her before. She plays Division I field hockey at number 4 University of Virginia, which is in the Atlantic Coast Conference. I noted her scoring. Taryn is a key component to the number 4 Cavaliers. The striker has 11 points with 2 game-winning goals. It's only natural that a hockey stick of some kind finds its way into Taryn's hands. Her father is Keith, who played 18 years in the National Hockey League and was a 4-time Olympian. Her brother, Brady, has played in the NHL for Ottawa since 2018, and her other brother, Matthew, plays for the Florida Panthers, where he guided them to the NHL title this last year. Not all hockey sticks in that family household have the same exact shape. Mia Duters, she's out of MICDS, playing her 5th year as a midfielder at Division I, University of Louisville, also in the Atlantic Coast Conference. Mia has started all 15 of the Cardinals' games, and why not? She is coming off a year where she was named first team All-Atlantic Coast Conference and second team All-American. 2 ladies are juniors playing defense at Maryville University, both from Lindbergh High, Dorothy Fife and Jessie Early. Sadly, defense doesn't show up much in the box score, but these 2 ladies are mainstays as they have both started all 38 games of their collegiate careers. I'll wrap up our segment on field hockey by taking a look at one player's career. What a ride Ellie Hughes has been on. Ellie is a senior midfielder out of Pembroke Hill, and she plays for the Middlebury Panthers. As I mentioned before, the Division III national rankings kept them as number 1, even though they lost this last year. Middlebury had been number 1, when they suffered their first blemish of the season, a 2-1 loss to then number 6 Tufts. Let's look at the last 4 Panther seasons. As a freshman and sophomore, Ellie played in 29 games. She hasn't missed a start since the beginning of her junior year. What kind of team results has Ellie experienced? Middlebury went 22-0 during her freshman year on their way to the national title. Then in her sophomore year, the Panthers had a regular season 2-1 loss to then number 7 Trinity, but went on from there to win the national title. And while starting every game as a junior last year, Middlebury swept the field 22-0 to win the national title. This year, as I noted, Middlebury now has 1 loss. It's as though I have seen this movie before. Will it happen? Will Ellie experience 4 national titles during her collegiate career? We will find out. And when we find out, so will you. Before we move on, many of you will know how I like the histories, lore, and traditions involved with college team nicknames. Some are very unusual, and many times those are the more interesting ones. A bit ago, I mentioned Tufts University. They are the Tufts Jumbos. Why? Well, in the 1890s, P.T. Barnum of Barnum and Bailey circus fame was a trustee of Tufts University, which is located in Boston. The biggest, literally, act of the circus was the first African elephant to be relocated to the United States. Everyone knew about Jumbo the elephant. When Jumbo died, Mr. Barnum donated the hide to the university. The Barnum Museum of National History was built on campus, which housed Jumbo's hide. Many decades later, in 1975, the museum burned. A quick-thinking member of the athletic staff saved some of Jumbo's ashes in a peanut butter jar. That jar of ashes is now handed down from athletic director to athletic director. I like that tradition. And with that, we will take a break to hear from one of our sponsors.
Is located in the heart of Springfield on historic Walnut Street, just blocks away from the Missouri State campus, Hammons Field, Great Southern Arena, and downtown Springfield. The Walnut Street Inn features newly remodeled rooms, breakfast served daily, and a friendly, accommodating staff. The Walnut Street Inn is also a great venue for private events. Book your stay or get more information at walnutstreetinn.com or call 417-864-6346.
Hey, welcome back to the Missouri Sports Network here on Where Are They Now Wednesdays. We're playing on sports, Kent Mueller, and let's wrap it up. And still a lot of news still coming.
That's right. We'll do something a little different now. Instead of looking at leaderboards, we will look at significant performances, whether they are ones to show up on a leaderboard or not. And like every week in the NCAA, we found some great performances by athletes who prepped at Missouri schools. Sabrina Jones is out of Kickapoo. She's a freshman forward playing Division I Arkansas in the Southeastern Conference. Not many soccer players get to play in college, let alone in Division I. And those who get on a roster may have to wait to get on the field. How about leaving high school and getting on a D1 roster, getting on the field in your very first game, and scoring a goal in that game? That is what Sabrina Jones did. Arkansas entertained John Brown in the season opener, defeating them 7-1. Sabrina came off the bench to play 30 minutes of that match. She got her first goal in her collegiate career in the 89th minute. And I want to note that she got that goal on an assist from a fellow Missourian, Ava Tankersley, who is out of Fort Zumwalt South. She's a graduate student this year. That was Ava's second assist in that match, which she added to a goal that she had scored earlier. For the season, Ava leads the number 5 ranked 12-1-1 Razorbacks in both goals scored and an assist. Way down in Florida, but still in the Big 12 Conference, is Chloe Netzel. She's out of Liberty, Wentzville, and is a senior forward at Division I Central Florida in the Big 12 Conference. This last week, Chloe scored another goal in Central Florida's 4-2 loss to TCU. She has been the dominant force this year with 10 of her team's 21 goals. Those 10 goals is the best in the Big 12 Conference. And on the TCU side of the field in that game was Caroline Kelly. She's out of Kearney High. She's a graduate student forward for TCU. In that same game, Caroline came off the bench to score 2 goals. She also scored another goal on Sunday in the Horned Frog 4-0 win over Iowa State. Caroline is second for the Horned Frogs in both goals and points. TCU is ranked 8th nationally. And there is Kate Germano. She's out of Pattonville, and she's a junior midfielder playing Division I women's soccer at Eastern Illinois, which is in the Ohio Valley Conference. Earlier this month, Kate got both of her team's assists in their 2-1 win over Southeast Missouri State. The University of Illinois lost earlier this month to number 19 USC, but not because of Lauren Seppi. She is out of Narings Hall and is a freshman midfielder. In her first collegiate year in that match against USC for Illinois, Lauren got one of Illinois' 2 goals. Maddie Valenti, who is out of Francis Howell Central, is a sophomore goalkeeper at Illinois State in the Missouri Valley Conference. Maddie has been the anchor in goal for the Cardinals. Illinois State is 4-7-3 when she has been in goal. Maddie has a very nice 1.46 goals against average, and all 4 of those wins were shutouts, including last Thursday's 1-0 win over conference opponent Evansville. Then you have Sage Wimes. She is out of St. Teresa's Academy. She's a redshirt sophomore forward playing at the University of Kansas, also in the Big 12 Conference. Sage has started all 16 matches for 7-5-4 Kansas. She has 4 goals and 4 assists for 12 points, which is the 3rd most on her team. Last Thursday, she got 2 assists in the Jayhawks' 4-0 win over Arizona. Lindenwood University is in just its 3rd year of Division I competition. They're building a competitive program as they are 4-0-4 in the Ohio Valley Conference. That puts them in first place in the 10-team conference. A freshman making her statement early in goal is Caroline Ritter. She's out of Narings Hall. And like I said, she is just a freshman and has started 11 of the 16 matches. She is averaging only 0.65 goals against, which is the best in the Ohio Valley Conference. She also leads the conference in saves. Caroline was recognized as her conference's goalkeeper of the week just 3 weeks into her collegiate career. Her last effort resulted in being awarded a shutout when Lindenwood and Little Rock tied 0-0 on Sunday. That is her 6th shutout of her young career. Leading Lindenwood in scoring is another freshman from Missouri, Mackenzie Compton, who is out of Holt. She is a forward for the Lions. And she leads the Lions with 15 points, the most recent being their lone goal in a 1-1 tie with Morehead State last Thursday. Given what Missouri freshmen are doing offensively and in goal for the Lions, I suggest you buy Lindenwood Women's Soccer Futures. Also getting it done in-state is Leah Selm. She's out of Parkway West. She's a senior midfielder. She's playing at the University of Missouri in the Southeastern Conference. Leah leads the Tigers with 15 points. She was instrumental in their 3-1 win over Oklahoma just this last Friday when she had her foot on every Tiger goal with 2 goals and an assist. Julia Christensen out of Francis Howell North is a senior forward at Missouri State University in the Missouri Valley Conference. Julia is in her 2nd year as a Bear after transferring from the University of Central Missouri. She leads her Bears in points with 19 and has 2 game-winning goals. Camille Day is out of Fort Zumwalt West. She's a graduate student. She's a goalkeeper at Missouri State, which is in the Missouri Valley Conference. She is having another outstanding year, following up on 2023 when she was first team All-Missouri Valley Conference and 2023 Conference Goalkeeper of the Year. And there's Adriana Benassi. She's a freshman out of Lee Summit High. She is a forward now at UMKC in the Summit League. Adriana has made a smooth transition to Division I soccer. She leads her Kangaroos in points scored and has 2 game-winning goals despite starting less than half the time. Another Missourian leading her team in points scored is Mary Hardy out of Parkway West. She's a junior forward at Murray State in the Missouri Valley Conference. And Emily Gaby, she's out of Union High. She is a forward in her senior year at St. Louis University in the Atlantic 10 Conference. She is having another outstanding year where she leads the Atlantic 10 Conference in shots, goals, game-winning goals, and points. Last year, she became the Billikens' first women's soccer forward to earn All-America honors. She holds the program records for shots, goals, and points. Izzy Patterson out of Incarnate Word Academy is a senior midfielder at the University of Tennessee Martin, which is in the Ohio Valley Conference. Izzy is having an outstanding senior year, leading her team in goals, assists, and points. As a senior, she is a two-time defending first-team All-Ohio Valley Conference honoree. With that, Guy, I'm going to throw it back to you.
Well, I tell you what, Kent, as always, it's great, tremendous amount of information, and I can't imagine how long it takes to go through and look all of that information up. But I know that the schools and the student athletes, the high schools, as well as the colleges, enjoy that effort. But hey, once again, encourage everyone, hey, go to our Facebook page and like us on Facebook. Go to YouTube and subscribe, and then you'll be made aware of any time we have shows coming out. Whether it be Where Are They Now Wednesdays, high school game days on Friday, Huddle Up on Thursday mornings, On Deck with D-Row and Arch, and the morning updates coming out. We try and get them out every morning. Sometimes it's hard to find the information at Misha, but we got them. Typically, we're out every morning, and hey, this is the best time of the year. This is the best week of the year. I mean, I know there's fans out there, they'll talk about Augusta, that's a great week leading up to that, or that first weekend of the Final Four tournament, March Madness, or the Super Bowl week. But you look at just the things that we've had going on in this country in the last week, going from last Saturday to the college football games. On Sunday you had the WNBA championship. You've got the World Series starting. This is the final week of high school football regular season in the state of Missouri. District softball has started, and hey, it's a great time. The weather's nice outside. Hey, get outside and go enjoy some of these events. I encourage you. Hey, take part in them. But hey, when you go, as always, the Missouri State Highway Patrol reminds us to take that 3 seconds and buckle up. It's 3 seconds that could save your life. Be safe.